Hello, and welcome to Reshoot, an amateur's guide to gooder film.
I'm Hector.
I'm Ruthie.
I'm Ed.
Today we're reshooting
Raya and the Last Dragon. Dragon noises.
Raya and the Last Dragon. Please, Ruthie, tell me what the movie's about.
Alright, so our movie begins with the backstory of Kumandra, this world that we're set in. It's split off into these 5 kingdoms based off dragon parts. So we got Fang, we got Spine, we got Heart, and Talon, and Tail. And all of these kingdoms were created after the dragons were killed off, quote unquote. In reality, they were just turned to stone by this mysterious force called the Droon. The Droon were stopped by the last dragon, Sisudatu, with this thing called a dragon gem, and then she disappears. Our story begins with Raya, a princess from Heart, who loses the dragon gem to Namari, the princess from Fang, who Raya thought was a friend, and then that gem gets shattered into a billion pieces. And by a billion, I mean 5. And then the Droon reawaken again and start turning people into stone, including Raya's father, or in the movie they use the term Ba. Now we fast forward 6 years into the future. Raya's been looking for Sisu and according to mythology, she's where the last river ends. She finds Sisu. She and Sisu go to find all of the gems together. In each kingdom, when they pick up a gem, they also pick up a new friend. So in Tail, they pick up Captain Boone. In Talon, they find the baby Noi with the 3 monkeys. And then in Spine, they meet Tong. The gang travels together to Fang. Raya and Sisu have a heart-to-heart before they can confront Namari and ask her to help them save the world. In this confrontation gone wrong, Sisu is shot with a crossbow bolt and dies. Like, dead. She's dead. Like, classic Disney all over again. Raya goes after Namari to exact her revenge, and as the two fight, Fang is crumbling around them. The rest of the gang takes their dragon gem pieces and starts fighting off the Droon. Finally, the gang kind of all end up together, and Raya remembers that conversation she had with Sisu. She decides to trust Namari. She hands her Namari Raya's dragon piece, and then she steps back into the Droon, turns to stone. The rest of the gang follow in her suit. Namari brings all of the gem pieces back together again. She gets absorbed by the Droon, turned to stone. And then, because they all trusted each other in power of friendship, the Droon is obliterated. All the dragons come back to life, and the dragons come back and they bring her back to life. And the gang is reunited with their various family members who were turned to stone, finally ending with Raya reuniting with her Ba.
Yeah. Don't forget that all the kingdoms come back together and they form Kumandra again. They're not split up.
True. But the most important part is the tearful reunion with Raya and her Ba.
Yes.
So. We don't care about the political climate of Kumandra.
Oh man, this movie.
I liked this movie. That's why I picked it. It was also very hard for me to try and fix.
Yeah.
Same.
I don't have much.
Same to fix it. Same to fix it.
Yeah, Hector did not like it. He has let me know that he did not like it. So let's see if I can win him over.
Good luck.
Likes. I really liked the world building. It was really creative. There were so many like subtle little details in there, you know?
Alright, like?
Well, they have 5 unique cultures. So like Tail was based off, it seems like they were based off Aboriginal cultures. Spine was based off Mongols. Fang, I want to say, is like Vietnam, but I'm not sure. It's Fang, Heart, and Talon that I get mixed up all the time. But even then, like, they're very distinct. And
did you look up which?
No, I did not. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. That's why I'm kind of wishy-washy.
That's fair. I just wanted to double check.
Also, I loved that the little the constructed language of this movie, whenever they substitute a word, it's almost always a swear word, or at least you can interpret it as a swear word.
Yeah.
So they use the word toy, which is like shit or shithead. There's Benturi, which is bastard, and one of the ones you can, depends on how you think about it, Depla. It seems like asshole, but it's also used in a very friendly way, at least by the 12-year-old characters.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I thought it was funny.
It's like friends calling each other slurs.
Yep. While I can see that that Disney formula shining through, you know, animal companion, power of friendship, single parent, uh, he didn't die, but he got turned to stone. She was separated from him for 6 years, basically dead. It was a breath of fresh air from all those live action movies.
Yeah.
It wasn't a Mulan.
Oh God.
Interesting detail. All of the dragon's powers were water based, so obviously, like Sisu's was swimming,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's light or the refraction of light,
Mm-hmm.
magnifying it. There's changing shape. This one I had to stretch a little bit, but hear me out. What is the mythology behind mermaids?
They're half
They
fish,
lure
half
sailors.
And when they have the sailors in their clutches where they can't escape?
They turn into from beautiful women into whatever creature there are.
And what is a mermaid in our real life?
Aren't they manatees?
Bingo.
Yeah, manatees. Yeah, that.
Yeah.
But manatees are beautiful creatures.
They're
they
disgusting.
truly are.
I've swam with I found a manatee
No,
while
I'm
swimming.
saying
They're beautiful.
when you look at them, they're just fat like birds.
They're magical.
They're magical sea
what
cows.
What the fuck?
Edge.
Yeah, they're cows in the water.
Ed, you binturi.
They're not.
Yeah, and
pretty
cows
to
are
look
beautiful. They have lovely eyelashes.
At. They're not good to look at.
Says you. I think they're beautiful.
I've seen a manatee in real life also.
I've swam with one, dude. They're beautiful in the wild.
Yes, in the
Okay,
wild too.
moving on from this horrible revelation of a friend of mine. Fog. Very self-explanatory. Fog is water. And then there's the
rain.
Yes. And then there's the last one, this general water manipulation that Pengu does. Although I will say at the end of the movie, all of the dragons were doing the water runny thingy.
Yeah.
Finally, I liked a very subtle nod to Chinese mythology. Have you guys ever heard of Pengu?
Pengu.
Isn't that the...
You mean
no, see,
the penguin?
No, not Pengu, Pangu.
Oh, Pangu. I heard Pengu.
Yeah. I was trying to make it a little bit more distinct.
I hate how they named him Pengu.
Yeah, but I think it was supposed to be a nod to Pangu, the Chinese god. Well, I don't know if he's like a god per se, but he is the source of creation. He separated heaven from earth in Chinese mythology.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I haven't heard of that one, actually. That's really cool.
Yeah. I learned that from a video game.
Wait, what game?
Age of Mythology.
Oh, okay, that explains it. Okay.
It taught me things, okay? Okay. To placate Hector, my dislikes. Hey!
No,
I thought Sisu's character was really weird, especially in the first half of the movie. It seemed like her voice actor was kind of just riffing, and the animation crew or whoever was making the creative decisions just decided to take some rambling and keep it in there, a la like Robin Williams in Aladdin, but it didn't hit the same as Aladdin, you know?
See, I think the closest modern day example could be like the guy who played King Julian in Madagascar.
Oh, that was the same style?
Half the time they just had to redo stuff because he kept adding really good lines, and they had to redo the animation. I remember behind the scenes video for that. No, I saw behind the scenes video for it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, like, the more I thought about it, I thought that the dragons were kind of weird, because, like, the Druun are supposed to be the manifestation of specifically humanity's greed, mistrust, bad, discord. I think they used the word discord. Yes. But what about the dragons? Like for example, or like, I don't know, if the Druun is like humans shit, then why does it affect the dragons? For one thing. Two, when they when they get rid of the Druun the first time, why don't the dragons come back?
I thought it was because the dragons did it, not the humans did it. It wasn't true because I figured out now. Ed, do you want to say what you had to say first?
Yeah, I didn't know why the dragons come back either.
The first time, because the dragons solved the humans' problems.
Mm-hmm.
And the second time, the humans solved the dragons' problems. Mm-hmm. And that way it undoes
their own problems.
Thank you, I said it wrong. The humans solve their own problems, and that has a bigger effect. I actually don't hate that.
Okay. It's not that I hated it, it's just that it was kind of confusing and kind of muddly, and so I tried to make it different.
The movie
it seemed like just a cop out kind of thing to make it a happy ending.
There's enough there to make sense, and I think the problem is that realization. I don't know if it's like I'm fixing it for them, or if that was the thing they're going for. That was the one thing they chose to make subtle in the entire movie.
It's Disney.
I know, but yeah, but you can get good Disney films. Soul was surprisingly.
Soul is Pixar.
Well, that's Pixar. You're right.
So Disney doesn't think that deep. Just saying. They're just like, let's make the dragons come back.
Yeah.
Probably is what happened.
Fair enough.
Do you guys want to hear how I make the dragons come back?
How?
Okay, so the dragons. I think the main way to fix it is I don't want to change a lot of what Sisu says about the dragons. I want to change a lot of how she says it. So from the beginning, I want her to be like trying to paint this like really like perfect utopian, like, yeah, dragons are so great. But then there is like this kind of like, I'm not telling you everything thing.
Okay.
Like, you know, when you're talking about your family, you're gonna say all the good stuff, and you're not gonna, unless you know the person, you're not gonna give them the juicy gossipy bits because you don't want that to reflect on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of vibe. So when Raya asks her, "What's your magic?" My magic. That's it's swimming. I'm a great swimmer. She's being super sus. More on this later. One thing I might specifically change of her saying, when we first meet Sisu, she says each dragon has a unique ability to each dragon. But again, they don't, because Pengu's power is used by everybody, unless Pengu is allowing them to run like that, but that doesn't seem to be the implication.
I figured as soon as all the stones were made, all the thing was reunified, and the dragons came back, they all got each other's magic. That was my interpretation of the whole thing. Again, they don't explain it. It just looks pretty.
True. Yeah, like, I don't know. I guess I'd rewrite the way she says it. Again, just kind of like muddying the waters. Because I don't want to make her power just swimming. I think it would be really interesting if it's water manipulation. It's very close to Pengu's ability. And it's almost like there's a dragon hierarchy, if that makes any sense. Like, because hers and Pengu's are so close together but so different, whatever Pengu's like specific niche is, he's the better one at it.
Okay.
So like, for example, I said like in my notes, make it water manipulation, but specifically it's like making things faster when they're in the water. That's why she's a good swimmer. She makes herself faster in the water. She makes the boat faster.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And like for some reason Pengu's is the more powerful. So Sisu, yeah, so she's not as like strong. Her magic isn't as strong or as like visible or whatever, for whatever reason. When it comes to like dragons, everybody talks about Pengu. Not a lot of people talk about Sisu. The short version is Sisu kind of has an inferiority complex, and she doesn't trust her own abilities. Because we have to use the magic word when it's a Disney movie. So, why is she so awkward around people? Humans don't know dragon hierarchy. They don't care. They're just like, wow, it's a dragon. Especially when she's the last dragon. So, she's trying to, like, put on this, like, fake version of herself to be like, yeah, I am cool. Accept me, please. I want the other dragons to accept me, but they won't. Kind of a vibe, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why the dragons haven't come back. The Droon isn't just human discord, it's like general. It's like discord in general. It's because Sisu doesn't like trust her own abilities. She's so used to having people like not walk over her, but like
look over her,
ignore her. And that's what makes like Pengu and her other siblings trusting her so much more important. And throughout this movie, you can have a better character arc for Sisu where she's not only learning that people don't trust each other, it's that she doesn't trust herself. And then when the gang like brings the dragon gem back together, I don't know, like it's like she's learned to trust herself, and it's that bond that all of them share, even with Sisu after her gone. That's what brings the dragons back. Because she, the last dragon, got rid of the discord in herself.
Okay.
Yes, thank you, Boomer.
I don't know if I wonder if Mike got Boomer.
I heard the little purr or meow or whatever.
He squeaks. Okay. Got one more dislike. So the story is trying to tell, I don't know, like the story is trying to avoid like black and whites, like, oh, these are the bad people, these are the good people. It's supposed to be like everybody has good and bad in them. We need to come together, right? Like that's the theme.
Yeah, this movie's a lesser Avatar. Keep going.
It is. Well, it's like the same genre.
Sorta. I'm trying to be careful not saying stuff like that because like there's similar influences like the animal companion that you ride, some of the action, the martial arts. Yeah.
But yeah, when we talk about Avatar for our viewers, we're talking about The Last Airbender.
Obviously.
The only good one, yeah, or the good Avatar, not the blue Pocahontas one.
Yeah. Anyways, so it's trying to tell this gray story, and then there's Namari. In the first half of the movie, like she's painted as being super evil.
Mm-hmm.
Like when she's going into the dragon gem area, and she just automatically gets evil girl face for a second. She's like, I'm going to be mean and destroy everything. That's the face she was making, audience. I think you can imagine. So how I would fix that. So in the post time skip with Namari, just change all of her lines where she's being kind of an ass, where she's being a Depla, and make them a little less ominous, a little less. Now, before the time skip, though, here's where it gets interesting. What if when she was a kid, she hadn't been like as automatically willing to do what she had done in the original version? So we started back when Raya goes to like help Namari up, and the two of them go to the Dragon Gem Cave. I'm just gonna call it the Dragon Cave. And Namari looks behind her, and in the crowd, there's a Fang person who's just kind of giving her that stink eye, that, hey, don't fuck this up. She just kind of like tries to ignore it. She turns around. What she doesn't know, she's really excited. She's got this new friend who's trying to show her something apparently cool. There's somebody following them. So when they get to the cave, Mari decides, I'm not going to tell. But the guy behind them sees the dragon gem. And he fires off the signal. Now Raya doesn't know. Raya just sees the flare. She sees Namari horrified. And it's, how could you? What have you done? Why have you betrayed me? She starts like, again, kind of having that confrontation that she had the first time. And you know what? For dramatic effect, while she's kind of like speaking like this, or she starts fighting Namari, the purple, bubbly, cloudy, that's when the Droon starts to come back.
But the gem's still not broken.
Fair enough. I was more thinking, because like, it's a human discord, right?
Yeah.
Well, when did a conflict between best friends, like in your life, feel like the most chaotic, the most like, this will never recover?
Quite a few times, though.
What? Give me like, when?
A kid.
A kid.
Actually, no. Actually, I know. Yeah, a kid.
Yeah, because when you're a kid, there's nothing that's kind of like middle of the ground. It's either the best thing or the worst thing.
Can I modify that a bit?
Sure.
It could be all the people there too. It's a huge group of people from different areas meeting together in one area for the first time in a long time. Yeah.
So like everybody gets in the dragon cave, the cave. The gem's broken, and like, or like, yeah, the gem's broken. They're all like chattering, and you can see like the Droon kind of like bubbling.
Yeah.
I like that.
All right. Funny enough, you did something very similar to I did with Namari.
I don't know. Namari needs a little love.
Yeah, I that's a nice way of putting it. I didn't, but what do you think, Ed?
What do I think about what? There's a lot to unpack there.
I don't know. Do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, the whole Namari thing, yeah, makes sense. kind of a lot more involved than what I like. You actually had a solution. I just said Namari needed some improvement in. Yeah, she kind of like flip flops at the end
Yeah.
so quickly. And she flips
Uh,
flops just because she sees Sisu, and that's it. Just because she
mhm.
sees the dragon.
Yeah. Yeah, when I was first kind of mulling over the idea of what, oh, I think it was just when we were watching Raya for the first time. After the movie ended, Hector had said, this movie would have been a lot more interesting if Namari had been the main character. Especially with that opening monologue where Raya was like, "I was the one who caused the end of the world." Honestly, Namari is kind of the one who's more applicable.
More applicable, would she just take Raya's place in gathering the dragon gems, or same
Pretty
story?
much, yeah.
Okay. I'd say Yanamari is more culpable for the world
Yeah,
going to shit than Raya, but
yeah.
think of the title Namari in The Last Dragon. It grows.
We'll just switch their roles then. It's Raya, but Raya is Namari.
Yeah.
So I completely forgot I said that actually. I didn't. So my whole thought when I was thinking of that was like, get again. I'm comparing stuff to Last Airbender because I've been rewatching it lately. Anyway, Zuko gets this whole big redemption arc, which I'm going to talk about later in my thing, right? But what if it was like a 2 hour version of just her Namari having to like, or a little under 2 hours, Namari having to get all the dragon gems. She starts to has to get people to trust her while trying to do the right thing. Her mom's chasing after her, and then the last obstacle is Raya, who is obviously not trusted anymore for good, or who doesn't trust anyone for good reason. And maybe Raya's hunting her to get the gems back just to get her dad back.
Mm-hmm.
But it kind of flips it because now, in a sense, we almost see Raya as the bad guy, and I don't know, like.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, that was what I was kind of picturing. I completely forgot I even said that until you just reminded me.
Yeah, I tried really hard to not play with that because I knew that was your thing.
You could have if you wanted to. I didn't. I completely spaced on that.
I got my own thing.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, that would be really interesting because if it plays out kind of similarly, like Raya catches up to Namari in your version, and then Raya just says, "You're just trying to get Fang to be the most powerful," or some bullshit like that, right?
Yeah.
Well, unbeknownst to both of them, they're after the same goal, getting people. Well, Raya more for her dad, but everybody also, and Amari to redeem herself and get
Or
everybody back.
maybe Raya is looking for the pieces too with Sisu, and you got both of them looking for the pieces. Neither of them really wants to fully give it up yet because
they don't trust each other.
they don't trust each other.
Yeah.
Is there anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay. Can I go next because this computer's about to die?
Oh shit.
So, I think this is the first time I don't like a movie. I like a movie the least, unless anyone else can remember any. But I think it's the first time I like the least out of anyone. I really didn't like this one.
Yeah, because like when we were watching A Cure for Wellness, I was the hater on that one.
Yeah.
Hector, you were a close second.
Mm-hmm. So,
I'm the only person I know that liked A Cure for Wellness that has seen it.
You're the only person I know who's seen A Cure for Wellness.
Actually, A Cure for Wellness, a lot of our audience has been listening to it. We've got like 22 listens to it now.
Nice. Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for listening.
Watch the movie. It's not bad.
It is bad.
Like there's just a few little things, dude.
Judge for yourself, everyone. Watch the movie, come back and listen to us. See you agree with the most. Maybe it's neither of us. That's fine.
Yeah, maybe it's none of us.
So Raya, the animation's really solid. Like they did a really good job.
Yeah, there were times where you and I were like, "That's fake. That they cheated. That's real water."
Yeah,
I thought that 100%. When Sisu got absolutely murked.
Yeah.
And she fell into the water. I'm like, my mind was like, It wasn't more me. It was just my brain's like, that's
Yeah.
real water. And I'm like,
Yeah. I
I really
think they've been
can't
improving.
tell.
I think they've been improving their lighting, which I know is like the biggest thing for animation or
Mhm.
3D animation at least is just the lighting.
Well,
That's
how
why I
water
think
physics
studio.
works in general is just like ridiculous.
I mean that too, but like, have you seen like a CGI movie before they do the lighting and after they do the lighting?
It is terrifying.
It's like
It is
the lighting.
terrifying.
Think of it like with video games how they're doing ray tracing to make the games look nicer. Because
I don't
graphics
know
only
what
go
ray
so far
tracing
now.
is.
Ray
I don't
tracing's
know.
like lighting.
Oh,
It's
you
lighting.
trace. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's like it
Trace the
reflections,
lights.
mirrors, all that like light bouncing off stuff objects. It's how games look so nice now is because everyone's going all in on ray tracing now because
It adds to the realism.
it adds to the realism and that's kind of what's tricking our brains thinking the graphics are nicer than they actually are. If you're turning ray tracing off at times it does not look as nice. Again, depends on the game or in the movie. So yeah, they had some really good. I think it was like a mix of water physics and ray tracing in that scene. The animation was amazing. There's some scenes also where it looks like a really cool wallpaper, like when Raya's in front of that one area before she fights.
Oh yeah, when she's got
Namari.
her sword drawn out and she's like walking and everybody's running past her and she's doing like the anime hero.
Yeah, I
pose.
know.
Yeah.
There's some really good shots. Like
And the music paired with that too.
yeah, no, like the fight scenes were like that was my third point on one of the likes in that one thing was like the fight scenes were really well animated. I almost forgot it was a Disney movie because like I don't know. Is there any other Disney movie that's animated that has good fight scenes like that? Has fight scenes like that?
No, because like in Frozen, which is the one that I kind of compare it most to for no reason.
Ice, water.
I guess. But in Frozen, the most was like when Elsa got confronted with the crossbow dudes. Entangled, they had some kind of conflict.
There was the sword fight thing, but that was more with the frying pan. But that was more silly. Also, Tangled's the best 3D Disney animated movie. Don't at me.
You won't change his mind.
You're not gonna change my mind.
Is Brave even Disney?
No, that's
That was
Pixar.
Pixar. That was Pixar trying to make it Disney.
I
No, but if
remember
we're talking
Brave
like
being pretty good.
CGI,
I don't know.
yeah, but
Brave is good,
that's. I've actually never seen Brave.
You've never seen Brave?
I don't know how. I've never seen Brave. It's
I'm
always
not gonna
like it's
pick
not like it didn't
Brave.
look.
No, I'm just saying. Ed, I get to make it watch Brave.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not me.
So-
though.
I mean,
Guess what my next pick is, motherfuckers?
Mother Deplas.
sorry. So yeah, I'm honestly like, it makes me wonder who they hired to do the choreography for that because like it was really well done.
Mhm.
Like it's honestly the highlight of the film for me.
You know what they should have done? They should have done rotoscoping for the fight scene. Like have actual people fight, and then have the people pitch over it.
For the final season of Clone Wars, I haven't seen it
Yes,
yet, but
I
I got
know.
spoiled
I
on
saw
one
that.
aspect. They had two actors do the actual.
Fight
They got the
between-
motion
do you know
capture
who
suits.
two fight? Do you know who two?
I
fight?
know who the two who fight. Yes, I already know. Don't spoil for Ruthie.
Don't tell me.
She hasn't seen
Oh.
it.
Motherfucker, I will, or Mother Depla, I will spoil Attack on Titan.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm just getting off that right now. I don't
Yeah,
Yeah,
need that.
step
Yeah,
off
like-
that grenade.
but
Yep.
yeah.
Put the pin back in.
I don't know. It was weird. It was really well done. The voice acting's pretty solid. I wasn't a fan of Sizu in the first half, and I don't think that's Aquafina. I think that's just the direction they gave her. She did good on the second half, so I know for a fact it wasn't her. I liked the lesson they attempted. It was unique and had good intentions, but we're gonna get into that. First, I want to get into my one dislike change. That is not a big deal. It's my only one that doesn't go into the main plot. The baby is a fucking DreamWorks character in a Disney film. The baby with the monkeys. It's something out of fucking
Baby.
Boss Baby. It's something out
Yeah.
of fucking Boss Baby. I hate it. I hated the baby. Everything she was in. Except when she was like a normal baby. But with the heist shit, it's... So... Sorry, Why does baby need her diaper changed or shit like that? Didn't he be fed? She has monkeys and she can command them to do what she wants. She is basically an adult in a baby's body. I hate it. Make the child like 6 or 7. Then it's a bit more believable.
Oh, I was gonna say make her a monkey. Just take the final step. Just make her a monkey. Make them 4 monkeys.
No, because then it's like, why do you have a monkey? It doesn't make sense with a human. I get what you're saying. It's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun, but like if they're going with what they're going for,
make it not a baby, make it a toddler.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just make it like 6 or 7.
Because how old's Boone? Because Boone's like, I pictured him being like between 8 and 10.
I picture him 10, like 8 to 11. But yeah, if you make the girl like 4 to 6.
What?
I thought Boone was like a little bit older, like 12 or so.
Okay, to be fair, I can't even judge ages on like actual people I know.
Yeah, it's fine. But yeah, I don't know. I just make her like 4 to 6. That's all I'm asking. Like, don't make her like 1 to 2. It's weird. Like, it's so silly. It took me out of the movie. Again, it felt like a fucking DreamWorks film in Disney. If it's DreamWorks, I don't give a shit. Anyway, here's my main meat and potatoes, and this was something I struggled with for a while, and I'm not sure if I did it the best. I think I'd rather go with the off-the-cuff version I did of Namari being the main character. But here's what I'd say. So, let me go back. The main lesson is to trust people. Sometimes trusting people, this is the way the movie frames it. Sometimes trusting people requires you to forgive them for past mistakes and listen to people when you think you know better, like Raya listening to Sisu. You have to trust them. The movie does not do a good job showing the first part of that. Namari betrays Raya multiple times. And this is a part where it's hard for me to explain. I might have to explain some background stuff. I've worked with a population that can be very, very trusting to a fault. They don't always get stranger danger. They don't always realize when people are saying shit about them. This movie accidentally reinforces that kind of an idea. And I'm not saying... I get it. We all need to trust each other more. That's kind of the problem with the world. I get what the movie's going for. But when you have little kids... And again, normally with movies, you should always talk to your kids about the lessons and stuff, right? Like, it's a smart thing. Help them go, like, learn through it. But... many people aren't going to be talking to their kid about the themes or the lessons. It's just like, that was a fun movie. Let's do something else.
Or even just like using the TV as a babysitter. Put on Raya.
Exactly. Thank you. So basically, if you're teaching kids to keep trusting people again and again and again, even if they keep hurting you. So if a little 6-year-old's getting bullied or lied on or whatever by some other kid, they might take this movie to heart and keep trusting the person when they really shouldn't. That's my big beef with the movie. That's kind of the reason I really don't like it. Have Namari betray Raya like in the beginning. Y'all know I like some nuance. I like the nuance this movie was trying to capture. So maybe she's a bit more apologetic to Raya while she's trying to like capture her for stealing the Dragon Scroll or trying to get it back. Because otherwise, like you said in the first half, she just feels like a fucking Depla.
Yeah.
So maybe during the quips, because kids movie, also the quips are fun.
Mm-hmm.
Just maybe whenever Raya insults her hard or says like you betrayed me or whatever, like you can see a bit like a twinge of cringe or regret from Namari. And then, she keeps betraying her, and it kind of comes to a head at the Sisu death scene, which is, I think, the thing that I'm going to be the most controversial on. I fucking hate the Sisu death scene. I watched this scene 7 times on like YouTube, analyzing it because something felt off. So I'm gonna. I wish I could show everyone. Look it up if you can, because here's the thing that's weird about it. So Namari is aiming the crossbow on her left at Sisu. Then when Raya extends her sword, Namari moves the crossbow right at Raya, or at least closer to Raya. Right, so it's more towards the middle. Then it seems like it flicks the thing and.
Raya like gets the sword, uses the sword whip.
The sword whip. The whip form. It hits the crossbow and it moves just slightly towards the left. Just slightly. It doesn't angle it as much. It's not as much as it was before. It just moves it slightly, and then it shoots Sisu right in the goddamn heart. So this plays out in a few different ways. Either Namari was gonna miss, and this is me fixing it, like watch the scene yourself. So it implies that either Namari was gonna fucking miss, or Raya somehow tipped the crossbow and it just wasn't shown very well.
That's a
Yes?
nitpick in my opinion.
No,
That's not
but
a big
it's
deal.
the I know it is because how do I explain it? It feels like a big deal to me because it's just such a it's a pivotal scene.
It does need to be solid because of because of everything that follows afterwards. Also, the implication I kind of got after I noticed you were watching that scene and you explained it to me before we were recording, could it have been, and it was just poor, could you interpret it as, I guess, the bolt would have gotten too close to Raya and Sisu was trying to like get in the way of it?
But she didn't move. I
Yeah.
see what you're saying, but she didn't move. I'm wondering if they just had like 5 different ways that scene was gonna go, and they just picked the best of 3, and it was a mess. I. It's just. Also, why would Namari aim at Sisu? Wait, didn't she say she. Did the queen tell her to kill Sisu?
No, I think what was going on was while she was super cool, like she was like in awe of Sisu. The first time she met her, Sisu was like spraying fog and like hissing and growling, just showing off her like dragon might. So Minamari might have still been a little spooky. So it's like, oh, Sisu's here. Oh, God, she's big. I
She
forgot how
wasn't
big she
spooked though.
was.
She
But
was
by
in
that
awe.
point.
She didn't even care that
Well, she's in
Sisu was
awe, but
growling. She was in awe and she got teary
Ex-
eyed.
Exactly. So that's why I hate it. It's just like she's shaking and her fingers on the trigger. I mean, I'm not even talking about gun crossbow safety. Like, I'm not gonna talk
Trainer
about that. But
discipline
like,
that doesn't exist in movies.
yes, yes, but like, you don't aim unless you're willing to fire, and like, it's so.
She was willing to
She
fire.
had
She was
intention.
pulling the
She had
trigger.
intention. Why would she do that? It makes no sense. Why would she do that to her idol? You know?
yeah. Well, it
She
seems
was.
like it's not even idol. It seems like part of her religion.
Can I? Can
Exactly.
I?
So why
Can
would you do
I
that?
jump in here
Yeah,
on
please.
you saying that she's doing irrational things? What had happened in the movie right prior to that? Raya's showing, I need you to trust me. I'm willing to trust you, even though you betrayed me. All of this, her entire worldview was shattered, especially after seeing Sisu. She's not thinking rationally at all.
Yes, but that's the
She
thing, though.
she
But
goes
like,
out there with a crossbow because she's still trying to be, you know, the leader her mom raised her to be, but she's still trying. She's having this conflict of Cisu's here. She has all the
I
other dragon gems. Like everything for her is not working. That's why she aims it at Sisu because she doesn't know exactly what she's
I
doing there.
I get that, but like she had no intention to hurt anyone throughout the like to really hurt anyone throughout the entire film. That's what seems odd. It seems like they just need her to be the antagonist, like the biggest antagonist in that scene.
Well,
She wasn't gonna fucking kill anyone. She wasn't gonna off anyone before that scene at all. That's what bothers
she
me.
seemed
It's
pretty
just
pretty determined on stopping or even killing Raya if she needed
I
to.
think it. Yeah, I think in the very beginning when they're in Tail, I don't know if it seemed like she was really trying to get at Raya. Once they got to Spine, it was like, okay, I want Raya, but the reason I want Raya is really the gems. I don't give a shit about her.
exactly. And all of a sudden, it's like you bring a fucking gun. I know it's not gun, but like you bring the gun or the crossbow. It just felt like way too big of a step, and I don't know how to fucking fix it. I think if it was just another
She was
sword
in
fight, it would have been
shock. She
better.
was having a mental breakdown. Basically, it makes sense. When you're not
Okay,
thinking rationally, you do stupid shit, which
I
includes bringing a crossbow.
Which is
When
the
you shouldn't.
which is ironic because her mom says we don't make emotional decisions, we make logical decisions.
Yep, but her worldview was shattered.
all right. All right. I guess this is a difference of.
No, no. Honestly, I get where you're I get where you're coming from. I'm trying to come at this from the middle. Like I hear what Ed's saying, and I'm trying.
No,
to
I hear what Ed's saying, and I agree. I usually like it's not bad. It's just I'm like
It's not clicking for you. It's
Ed's,
not vibing.
yeah, Ed's won me over plenty of times. You've won me over plenty of times. This is just one where it's like I'm sticking to my crossbow on this one. I'm not.
Yeah, and I
fucking-
understand it. I understand that. It's just for me. For me, that's not an issue in the movie at all. And also I want to jump back to the whole crossbow moved a little bit. Again, the crossbow is not a big issue in the scene, in my opinion, or where she's pointing at it. It's just the conversation, what's going on with Namari and Raya mostly, and Caesar. And usually, that kind of stuff I at least let it slide when it's not perfectly accurate, because there's a scene in, spoiler alert, Reservoir Dogs. No. Either way, there's a scene where one person has a gun against two people who have the gun on him, and he shoots one, moves his gun slightly to the left and shoots. You can see that it's not aligned, but he hits both of them. And to me, the just shooting and the accurateness of it is not very important. It's just the drama, the scene, why it's happening, and all of that, and what the character chooses to do.
Okay.
The accurateness is not important or relevant at all to me. She hit the blow. It just so happened that it flicked the bow and it shot Sisu.
Okay. So
that's a nitpick for me. I'm not gonna let
the reason I. Okay, you make a good point, but there's a reason I didn't bring up the nitpick. Later on, when they're about to fight, Namari's like, "You're just as responsible for Sisu's death at Raya," even though she had her finger on the fucking trigger and was like starting to squeeze it a bit. I get it. Anyway, here's what I was thinking actually happened. She's about to fire. She fires by accident. It was gonna miss. And then Raya reflexively, because I noticed earlier in the movie, they shot a crossbow at Raya's dad, and he fucking blocked that shit with his hand, and it hit his knee. But they're fat. They can do, like, arguably, like, what is the trope is bullet timing, which is, like, you can see where bullets are coming from and, like, dodge them or reflect them. Mm-hmm. So they're bullet timers in this world, albeit slower, but... So, she shoots. She's about gonna miss. Raya, all panicking... PTSD moment. Flicks the sword, tips the arrow, and that's what hits Sisu in the heart. That way, they're both actually responsible because she didn't trust.
Yeah, she didn't trust Amari, and she didn't trust Sisu.
Mm-hmm. And that way, she's actually equally at fault, because as it stands, it's on Namari 100%, in my opinion. Raya was 100% justified in what she did.
Yeah.
Namari fucking backstabbed him again. Backstabbed Raya again. So, again, that was my whole thing. So, you have something to say, Ed?
No.
Okay.
Well, I was just going to say, it was funny, we were watching it the second time today just to make sure we got everything. And that scene came on, and immediately, as soon as Namari started talking, he's like, "No! Shut up! You're wrong! It's your fault!
I didn't even say
I hate you, Dad!"
So, yeah. Namari should be the one to give the thing to give the stone pieces to Raya. I get why Raya gave it. I get what they gave. I get if Namari was actually not as like wrong, it would have been a better ending. But because at this point, if you're gonna just stick to Namari being a fucking ass up until the end, then give it to Raya as being like, "I'm sorry. I want you to trust me. I get why you don't trust me. I'm going to give you this vulnerability. Literally give you I'm going to be vulnerable and show you that I can change." That it's a big step. So she can still take the thing, and maybe where I'll be like, in her head, it'll be like, "Oh, is she trying to stab me? Is this another way to like kill me and then take the stones for herself?"
Back a little one.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, and then she's like, "I have to," and maybe she takes a step back. She's like, "No, I have to listen to Sisu. I have to trust her," and she takes it. And Fang learns their lesson at the end. They have to work towards reconciliation. Spoiler alert for Avatar: Last Airbender. Here's my basis for this. Zuko's arc. Katara does not trust him at Zuko at first. She fucking threatens to kill him. And it takes time of reconciliation, and she goes on an adventure with him, and then she starts to trust him again finally. And that's the way it's a better lesson to show that you don't just blindly trust people the fourth time to say, "Oh," without any proof. Like, let the person work towards it, but always be on your guard until they start to actually show it. It's a more realistic, it's a good lesson to teach kids.
And you can see that Zuko tries really hard to gain Katara's trust.
Yes.
Or the team's trust.
Yeah, exactly. Like when he was starting to go in there, he like bended the knee and was like willing to be a prisoner at first. Like
Mhm.
this isn't about Avatar as much as I'd love it to be. This is about
We
Yeah.
Avatar.
could not fix
Well,
Avatar.
No, you
that's
can't
also why I
fix.
ship Zuko and Katara so much, and I hate what that they didn't.
You and Dante Bosco is the guy who does Zuko is the same, by the way. That he's like the captain of the ship.
Oh,
Um,
he shipped Zuko and Katara also.
yeah, he's the captain of that ship.
Oh God.
All aboard. Doot, doot.
No, like I'm not joking. He used to have like a Zutara like weekly like little fan art thing. Anyway,
Yeah.
my other ending, which Ruthie's not going to like, Sisu should stay dead. And not just to be like, haha, people suck and people die. No, it's just like, look, every action has consequences. Again, bring back to Avatar. Some stuff cannot be reversed. Like sometimes you trust the wrong person and bad shit happens. It's life. People, and that's a lesson. Like you gotta be careful. You need to not just go blindly trusting. That's all I have to really say. That was my rewrite.
I liked it up until the last bit.
I get why, and it's not like I hate Sisu. It's not like I fucking like. It's not like when she got shot, I'm like get wrecked. It was just like okay. I know they're gonna bring her back to life. It would be a lot more of a sticking lesson if it's like, hey, be careful.
My turn. Oh no. I liked it. I like this movie. I disagree with. I don't know why I like this movie so much. Now that y'all mention all this stuff, but like,
Had a lot of heart, didn't it?
yes.
Ah!
Um, I don't know. I kind of liked Sisu, the character, even in the
Yeah, I
beginning.
didn't hate her.
She's a fucking weirdo, which is fine. Uh, and then like the whole swimming thing, like, yeah, I agree with your point, Ruthie, about like maybe she's being sus about it. I mean, it turned out to be true, but it's kind of shitty dragon power compared to all the
Yeah.
other ones. I like Sisu for the most part, and that's one thing I like about this movie that I don't know if it's Disney or just like a whole bunch of other animated kids movie is that the comic relief gets overbearing and it's so much, and in this it's not. Like Sisu's perfectly balanced in my opinion.
No,
With
I'll agree.
the comic relief, I can hear something in the background.
That would be the boy giving me legs.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel Sisu was perfectly balanced. The baby was definitely the stupidest part for me as well. Yeah, just make it a little bit older, honestly. Yeah, it felt like a freaking like video game doing the main story, basically. Collect all the special pieces. And it's just like going through. I don't know. Raya was a good character ish. Yeah, the whole trust thing I was not on board with either. That was really I don't know, yeah, like you said, bad lesson in my opinion. Maybe I'm
Was
just
it
saying.
before I said anything, or
No, that was my thing also. Like the whole trust thing, eh, there's better ways. Or just like, I don't know. If you remove the trust thing, the whole movie doesn't really work though.
Well,
You
it
can't
could be
really
played in a. You can play it in a healthier way because I think,
yeah.
yeah, the way
Because
Hector
it does
worded
give
it,
this like blind trust kind of shit, which
yeah,
is not okay. And yeah, that's
because
that the
unfortunately
whole
people
trust thing
suck.
needs to be more built up. And yeah, Namari should not be as evil throughout like 95% of the movie. It should be built up, especially in Spine. I think when they fight, maybe Raya can like when they spar a little bit, Raya like it's a confused look on her face, like she's like make Namari not be super aggressive on the fight, just more defensive kind of thing, and have Namari talk
oh,
more. Have Namari say like, just please like come with me or like give me the dragon gems, but like or yeah, just give me the dragon gems. Like you don't have to do this kind of thing.
Let
Or
me fix what I
Namari's
broke.
Namari
Yeah,
she won't say that because of the whole, Fang leader mindset that she has. Like she's the special one. That's why she don't make it obvious. Like just tell her like, give me the dragon stones, right? You can stop this kind of thing. Like and yeah, like make it entail like she's still mostly evil, but like you can small hint of like she's sort of changing. I don't know if they meet up in Talon. They don't, right?
No, because
No,
what
because
happens
she's
is that they meet up in Tail, and then
she goes to Fang, then
Namari
she
goes straight to Fang, and
yeah
then she goes back to Spine.
goes back to Spine. Yeah, maybe in Spine especially like really not drive it home, but make it more obvious that Namari's not purely evil, and make Raya realize this. Make Raya be aware of this as well. Show her that she's like when she after the tail encounter, she's like, I thought Namari would be way more aggressive. And in the spine fight, they like she could have beaten me, but she didn't. And make Raya realize like that kind of stuff, and that's why. And it would make more sense when she listens to Sisu and Sisu brings her to the heart temple thing, the dragon cave. Like that's when it really clicks for her that Namari's trying to change. And I don't know, maybe the speech that Sisu gives to Raya make it like they realized that I was trying so hard to be like at least Sisu like be useful even with my shitty dragon power. That's why they trusted me. That's yeah, that's a better way. Thank you for like making that so click in my head so easily just now, Ruthie. But yeah. Other than the blind trust thing, not much is an issue. Yeah, Namari's a terrible character. The whole Sisu dying, I thought was actually pretty good in my opinion. And Stay Dead, it's a kid movie. Maybe not, but if it was geared more towards like older kids, like young teens, which maybe it is, I don't know. Maybe Keep Her Dead, Actions of Consequences, and maybe, yeah, make it more clear that Raya did, in fact, was partly at fault, or like accidentally led to Sisu's death, as much as Namari, by not being trustful of Raya and Sisu when they were both trying to get her to trust. Again, even though she was trying to like, being nicer, she still has her worldview shattered when Raya actually tried to trust her. I don't know. Also, yeah, I don't understand why the orb had a delayed effect, but okay.
I thought it was just the drama. I didn't mind as
I know,
much.
but like,
Like inside the orb, it's like, okay, we deploy the anti-drone stuff. Wait, why are we waiting? Aesthetic.
aesthetic, yeah, basically, the magic was gone. It was dull completely. I don't know. But yeah, drama movie trope. Also, yeah, the fight between Namari and Raya at the end gave me Star Wars Season 7 vibes at the very end.
Oh,
And honestly, I liked how Raya was like so hell bent on revenge in that moment. It shows
Oh
that
yeah, no, that was
it
cool.
shows that she was fallible, that she's not perfect. And she was just straight up wanted to kill Namari so hard, so much.
and it wasn't just her, because like the rest of the gang, they were like,
Yeah,
yeah, she
kill
killed
that bitch.
Sisu. Fuck her.
We don't need to trust her. But yeah, maybe when Raya beats her and like she realizes instead of looking at her friends, she realizes like I'm at fault too. I'm sorry. And then she leaves. Maybe yeah, when she realizes or I don't know, something happens where she like kind of flashbacks to replays the Sisu dying moment in her head and realizes that yes, she did fuck up and kill and led to Sisu's death because she wasn't trusting Namari, even though that was the whole point of the meeting up. Anyways, yeah, good movie overall in my opinion. Uh, not many dislikes. The big fix is the trust thing. Yeah. it hit me so wrong at the end of the movie, especially with the song that played. I'm like, fuck, dude. It was too much. Too much on that trust thing, not enough of just like how to trust or when to trust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, can I make a defense as to why to bring Sisu back?
Go for it.
Sure.
Sometimes shitty things happen. Sometimes shitty things happen to kids. If there's a kid who's experienced a trauma, like a relative dying, I don't know, maybe not make them relive that trauma, just, I don't know, bring Dragon back.
Yeah, fair enough.
Sure.
Is
Yeah.
it like
That's good.
Yeah, like the audience is like, what, 0 to 10? Well, I mean, it's Disney, it's meant for all ages, but really it's targeted towards kids like 2 to 10.
I get what you're saying, but
Probably,
like,
yeah.
how do I say this?
Oh, I
Like,
also like
kids
how they
can-
made Raya, like Raya and Amari, like adults. They're like,
Yeah. Yeah, no,
Mhm.
they're like somewhere between like 16 and 20,
Yeah.
Yeah.
depending on how old they were when they were kids.
Yep. Which is, I like that. I don't know.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I
I
like
like
that
not
too.
following kids around.
It's the reason I'm having a harder time with anime currently. I'm getting to that point in age where it's like it's a lot harder
Yeah.
to watch high schoolers.
High school issues. That's why Attack on Titan is so good. Because there's no high school.
I mean, they're still teenagers for the majority.
I know,
Anyway.
but there's no high school, and there's like, uh, oh,
I mean,
They're
it's,
child
this isn't an
soldiers.
Attack
It's
on Titan
fine.
podcast. Yeah, I liked it. Felt like a Zelda game, honestly, even though I've only played like one ever. Like,
Is it Breath of the Wild?
he hasn't
no,
played Breath of the Wild.
after a while, yeah. But like, it's just like, it felt like a video
Wait, you
game
played
like that.
Breath?
I haven't finished it.
Alright, fair enough. Keep
I
going.
didn't
Sorry.
realize you could just go straight to Ganon, which I'm probably gonna
You
do.
can.
It's hard.
I like the movie.
Okay.
Trusting was
Like,
really irked me, probably
Yeah.
because I have probably have lessons taught to me by my mother and experiences I've had
yeah,
by
same.
being too trusting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, good movie
Mm-hmm.
for the most
What
part.
did I convince you at all?
Like, it moved up, like, from, like, one thing to another, just slightly
Half a step.
higher.
I'll take it. I win.
By, like, 1%. Anyway.
It's a percent.
Half a step up.
Anyway,
Who's
I
gonna
want to
start?
go. Ed, you start.
Really? Me? Ew.
Yeah.
Like a B. B
Wait, a
minus.
B?
B minus. B minus.
Wow.
Yeah, I liked it. Come on. Even as a critic. B minus.
Alright.
I was gonna say B plus, but now I feel shy because I know you're gonna give it like a C minus,
I'm not getting a C minus.
a D minus.
No.
Okay, I'm gonna still say B plus.
You can say you want.
I feel peer pressured.
No, I'm giving it like a solid C. The lesson was terrible, but the rest of the movie was like the lights were so pretty. Like the fight scenes especially, like they're so
Yeah.
good.
Mhm.
Also,
So-
the fucking whip sword is cool. Like I've noticed a lot of media
Ivy?
doing that now. Huh?
Ivy? Ivy did it first. Soul Calibur.
Ivy?
Ivy. Ivy from Soul
Bro.
Calibur.
I haven't played Soul Calibur.
She did it first.
Okay.
And she also
Well, no,
did
like-
the TikTok, like very promiscuous dressing all the time. Also.
Well, there's a bunch of game. I've also like Red Rising. I think has a similar thing to like the sword whips, but it's a bit different. And like it's just really it's a
Byleth.
book series. Byleth, yeah. No, I love the sword whip design. It's super cool.
Ivy did it first.
Okay.
Look up
Like,
Ivy.
I don't know.
We'll take your word for it. We'll
We'll
look
take-
it up after.
But yeah, I'll give it a C.
Yes. Gucci movie. Alright. Give me a second. While I look up movies that have come out in 2020.
Well, our next movie is
Oh.
Gattaca.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, join us next week for Gattaca.
Yeah. And then after that, let me see actually. Oh, we could do underwater instead.
Which one's underwater?
The one with Kirsten Stewart.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's a good one
I've seen
too.
that one.
I have
It's
not.
good.
Is it fixable?
Very.
Okay, I'll be fine then.
I mean, yes, it's fixable. I still like the movie overall.
You can do that. I
Hey,
like
Yeah.
which
Dude,
one do you want to do?
Reign of Fire had some stuff to fix, but that was probably one of the more fun films we've seen.
Yeah.
True.
I mean,
Rain of
so Invisible Man was probably like of the movies that I've seen that came out in 2020. It's one of my favorites.
Goodbye, everybody.
All right.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Join us next time for Gattaca and special stuff.
Yay. Today's film was Raya and the Last Dragon, directed by Don Hall, Carlos Lopez Estrada, Paul Briggs, and John Ripa. The screenplay was written by Qui Nguyen, Adele Lim, Kiel Murray, Dean Wellens, and all the directors. The cinematographer was Rob Dressel. Go show some love to their various social media accounts. They made a movie, which is more than we can say here. Our next episode will be Gattaca, with a special guest. Enjoy!